Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the International 4 European Qualifiers. We have wasted no time in getting into the draft for Game 2, so we're just going to hop in right away. Roland, come on. It's okay, buddy. We're ready now. We're ready. It's Game 2, VP. They shocked RoX with a level 1 Radiant Roche strat. Fog, they caught them completely off guard, and, well, they're one win away from a trip to Seattle. Man, look at this hexagon. What's going on here?
It's not even a hexagon.
That's not even a hexagon.
What is that? Okay. I don't even know what to call that. Alright, whatever, man.
It's not the
UFO.
size.
It's not the size that matters.
It's not the shape either.
It's not the shape either, I guess. Jesus
Well, they
Christ.
definitely have Disable covered. I agree with that.
Yeah, they do. That's for sure. Bane probably did that on his own, but yeah, right now just looking at the not too many shockers across the board. We see the Lycan banned out, the Bad Rider banned out, the Wisp banned out, but this time Virtus Pro actually decides to ban out the Mirana. They don't want to have to deal with that. As well as Doombringer and Abaddon. So
I gotta say, it's a little bit unusual to ban Lycan as Dire, though. Normally, you want to force your opponents to blow a ban on it.
I guess they're just... it's like RoX.KiS' bread and butter, though. They pick Lycan every time it's there.
This disgusting triple Necro Howl strat.
Yep.
I'm just kidding. Wait, if it works, it works.
Disgusting.
Disgusting. It's very strong, though.
But yeah, VP picked the two tree guys. You know, they denied the tree from Go Black. They probably... I think they were first pick in this game, right? If I believe.
First pick was Dire, so VP had first pick.
Okay, so yeah, VP take the tree right away, and RoX just counter picks with a Panda Bane. So, Panda, I guess did RoX even play Panda much the other 2 days?
This is a question for Roland to research.
Yeah, I'm not really too sure, but either way,
he'll look it up.
They're denying Virtus Pro their Panda as well, so it's a good pickup as well. It's just a very strong hero that people have been giving a lot of attention to. And they do end up going for that third pick Centaur as well, so revealing at least their offlane if they want to. Actually, no, not revealing their offlane, because RoX.KiS does like to run tri-lane Centaur some of these times, so right now, lane's a bit ambiguous from RoX, but I like their draft so far. Looks pretty even.
Yeah, it's I like it for RoX, kind of just it's a pretty balanced but aggressive lineup, and I think if you take the fight to VP, they're quite likely to make mistakes. So
yeah,
even in that win, I mean, we were discussing it for just a few moments in the break, and it was not a clean win for VP, despite the massive advantage they piled up. They got team wiped at one point, and they had like a solid 2 or 3 more fights to lose before they're in any danger. But
I don't get why the hell RoX.KiS would ban out Death Prophet and Razor instead of an Invoker.
I think they only get push cheese, I guess.
I guess,
but they're good at countering push.
Virtus Pro's a good push. I mean, Virtus Pro. Invoker's a good push hero as well, and I mean, that hero's good. He doesn't have the best record in the EU qualifiers, it seems like, but.
Oh, you mean over the Invoker? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I don't get. I don't know why they would ban it instead of the Invoker. They're just giving it basically for free, and now they have the Invoker plus Furion global potential.
I also feel the Nature's Prophet is probably worth a ban versus VP. I'd even rather give them like Wisp over Prophet.
Yeah, they actually pick it the majority of the games, honestly. I mean, Arzar's been playing it, I think.
To me, it's like Vici Gaming. Like against Vici Gaming, you don't really want to give them Doom or Prophet. And we saw that when you give it away, RTK has a much higher percentage chance of having an impact because he's just one of those offlaners that is asked to shoulder a lot for.
You want to make them play off of their normal game. You don't want to keep giving them the exact same thing because they're used to playing with it. Like if you were talking about ROTK, you saw him play on that clockwork, and it seemed like he had no idea really what he was doing on it at that point because he's just so comfortable with the other ones that he always gets.
He's so used to playing a catch-up / like farming offlaner.
Yeah, I don't understand. You might as well deny teams the picks that they like. I mean, why not?
I think RoX, even though they're on the verge of elimination here, should still be confident in winning a straight-up game.
They should still be pretty damn careful. I mean, Virtus Pro have been playing. I mean, they played really well that last game. It was a little bit of sloppy stuff overall, but I mean, of course, level 1 Roche helping massively in their favor. But they've really seemed to getting their shit together. Honestly, I don't really know how else to put it.
Even the game that they had trouble with against Coast, that was still much better than the VP I was casting in the Summit Europe qualifiers when they bombed out and went like I think it was 1-7 or 2-6.
But it just looks like even their drafting and everything is getting more solidified. It looked like some of their picks were a bit questionable in some of the other games, and now it looks like they're just taking a page out of Mouse's books, really.
Yeah. And we'll see if they can keep it up. They have one more ban to go here. RoX looking at another support, unless they want to run a support Panda. Though I would be very surprised. In terms of support still out there, there's Ancient Apparition, which if your mouse is what you would go for here. For the Weaver, Ancient Apparition, Bane's a good setup hero for that, and just a ton of right-click potential. But we'll see what they want to do.
Yeah, AA is pretty good versus True as well. It burns the living armor decently quickly. with with 3 of his spells, the Cold Feet, the Chilling Touch, and the ultimate, of course.
The Chen will be the ban for VP, and they'll actually go for an Enchantress instead. So more of an aggressive support, but still very strong, and you can go aggressive trialing if you're RoX, I think. This is a Disruptor tree. Not really the strongest.
I actually really like this. I've said it a few times in the past as well. Enchantress, if you can do it properly, you can shut down an Invoker so hard in the early game that he basically has no factor throughout the game. And even if it does get to later on portions, if it is an Exor Invoker and he decides to go for a book, you can just constantly take it from him.
Yeah, we saw that Enchantress. Who was running the Invoker and just got destroyed? It was DK, I think. No, it wasn't DK. It was either Vici or Newbie. No, I think Vici was running Invoker,
and Newbie they had Banana on the Enchantress.
Yeah, and he just crushed the.
Yeah, I mean that's really what happens. I mean, if you get 2 creeps, it's very good versus every hero, but Invoker as Exort especially, you don't really have any survivability whatsoever in your lane, and if you get caught out and you die a few times, Invoker really falls off.
And Qualifiers feels very situational nowadays.
It's very underwhelming.
I think that Ghostwalk Orchid build can be decent, but it's hard. Honestly, it's not that easy to farm a timely Orchid when you're going Qualifiers. Your damage is pretty crap.
You need to just rely on winning lots of small engagements and just snowballing off of that. If not, just getting lots of ganks and look who we see again.
Bristle God.
Newbie just ran this on. I think How was playing.
They ran the Bristleback Doom Viper triple tank strat, and they won. The DKGG'd out with 6 towers alive. I think they just lost their first when the game ended.
But I mean, Bristleback overall, like the concept of it, I actually really like it versus Panda because you can just kind of run in there and you can kill the Panda when he splits. It doesn't really matter. You just focus the Fire Panda. Your Quills are hitting all 3 of the Pandas, as well as the fact that you're gaining Warpath damage throughout all of it. So I really like this pickup, and I think it could really work out for them with this tree armor too.
Yeah, it's pretty nice against the Ench creeps as well in the mid game. You tank a lot of their right-click damage, and you're going to be in the middle of them. So, well, let's see. And it's also just a very tough hero to bring down in a tri-lane scenario. So,
just reading what the chat had to say about the Hexagon. I mean, I think it was in all our heads, but it's okay.
Yes. Some people had stronger phrasing than others. There was one comment in particular I really enjoyed, but well, if you didn't see it, you missed out. Well, with that being said, guys, it's a quick pause as we get ready for Sadoy's reconnect. Winner of this best of 3, with VP currently leading the set 1-0, goes to Seattle and plays Mouse in the grand finals of the European TI4 qualifier for a shot at the direct qualifier slot. The loser goes to the wildcard tournament where Liquid, MVP Phoenix, and CIS are all waiting. And with that being said, Game 2 is officially underway. VP on the Dire side, RoX on the Radiant. And we'll introduce the teams now. Beginning with RoX, we've got BZZ on the Weaver, Yol playing the Bane. Following up will be Solo on that Solo mid Panda, or Brewmaster Sadoy, your off-lane Centaur. And now, last but certainly not least, it's Goblak. Some call him the Mastermind on the Enchantress. And on the Dire side, you've got Team VP. NS playing the Disruptor. Is this actually happening? Well, this is not going to be uncontested this time around. We'll introduce VP later. Looks like the actual breakout. They start off with a sleep on the Nature's Prophet. Sentry won't deploy. Johnham comes in. He's got the Leech Seed, but it's actually been used quite early here. And now he's caught out in the kinetic field. That's a 3-hero stomp from Sadoy. Well, VP, they really wanted to level 1 Roche cheese their way to victory in this best of 3.
Arzard gets away, though.
But Arzard will live, in fact. And, well, now it's a 2-for-1. Still favoring RoX. These claps and stomps are on multiple heroes. Centaur's going to retreat. Another nice kinetic field. Still, the Bristleback falls. Make it 3-for-1. Goblak plinks him down. And in the end, VP, as quickly as they won Game 1, they may have put themselves in a very difficult position for Game 2. So, let's introduce VP now. We've got G as your solo mid invoker, Johnham, the support tree, NS on the Disruptor. Do we really need a teamfight recap for that?
I think we do.
Illidan, the Bristleback, and then in the offlane it will be Arzard, now with a very heavy load to carry as the Nature's Prophet.
They gave 2 kills to the solo mid Panda. He's got his bottle finished up. He's about to have boots as well, and he's almost level 2. And as I was saying that Arzard lived, he actually turned around and walked right back into a Panda clap right afterwards.
I can understand faking the level 1 Roche and trying to bait them into a bad engagement, you're not going to kill it before they show up. And they're going to check it. They're not going to lose a best of 3 to a double level 1 Rosh.
They don't even have a good level 1 Rosh lineup.
I know.
And they weren't even in there quickly. I don't even think they smoked in there or anything. They just walked in and were like, let's do it.
I thought they were just going to mess around or bait or try and get in RoX's head, but they just...
Even the
That's like just disrespectful to your opponent. Like they're acting like RoX are idiots going for that. I feel.
Even the leech seed being used on the Bane, you're using that leech seed on the tankiest hero that they have, basically. I mean,
Yeah.
Bane has incredible stats at the beginning. He basically has the same survivability as the Panda or the Centaur.
Yeah, and he also has, if he needs it, he's got brain sap. Although we saw there he went for the sleep first.
Yeah, but
Well-
this is going to be devastating. I think it's going to be really devastating for G because he's going for. He might be going for this Quas Wex build, and Solo, like I said, he's got Bottle and he's got Boots coming out now.
The kills are still going to start coming out, perhaps. Not yet for BZZ, but you can already see the amount of damage you can throw out towards NS, and for now, they're being contested here in their efforts to farm the pull. In fact, BZZ gains control of it, and running dual lanes, this dual lane top is very difficult for VP to deal with.
Yeah, absolutely. We do see Weaver secure the last hit on that Satyr as well, so taking
Sorry,
a bit of...
I said dual lanes. It's actually just a single dual lane, because they're running a jungle enchantress.
Yeah, and he is smoked up, and he does have the best ganking creeps possible right now. He has the Troll Net and the Centaur Stump, so G needs to be very careful, and he is going for the Quas Wex build, though. But uh-oh, here he comes. Solo has no mana, but either way, they're going to get him.
His invoke is cooling down. I think he can just invoke Ghost Walk. Is he going to do it in the nick of time? No. He will. He Ghost Walks, and he'll make his way out. Nicely done.
Wow. But either way, you have to burn all of your mana, basically, there. Now, he's got Boots on him, but he's got no mana whatsoever, and that Solo's going to have a complete free lane. He's 14-2 compared to the 6-0 Invoker.
Yeah, and, I mean, what are you going to do? Go for a bottle? It's, you need your phase boots on Quaswex Invoker, or your last hitting just is a real issue.
Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate that Yol actually had the sentries instead of the Enchantress, so I think if he was holding it there, it would have more than likely been a definite kill.
Still, like you said, it's a lot of damage done, and, well, on that note, NS will be found out, though he does drop a kinetic field. There's no backup for this. Can he go back in?
I think Golbat could have killed him there if he just enchanted him and ran at him. He had level 2 enchant at that point, but I guess he thought the tree was closer to try to help him survive, so the decision's pretty difficult.
Yeah. Either way, he's creating a lot of space. He burned all the Invoker's mana. I think there's a Clarity Potion or something along those lines coming mid, and Invoker's already in the back foot after 2 kills to the Panda. Now he's even further because of that, and yeah, he's getting some mana back, but it's still going to be a very rough laning stage. He's actually 11-2, which is honestly better than I would have expected. But the problem is he's not stopping Solo at all.
The only way I can see them killing Weaver unless he makes massive misplays is if they blow a Disruptor ulti every single time for him. So this Weaver's going to have a pretty fun game.
And our Disruptor, level-wise, is not getting a ton. He's been under pressure. He's only level 2 for now. They'll go and Jot him. The sleep juggled by that Disruptor. But Go Black, so far, really winning the laning stage for RoX. Shut down mid a bit. He's shutting down the support's top. He's creating space for the Weaver. And well, he's still doing well for his own levels. He's almost level 4.
Arzar's going to be a little bit careful down here. If he gets stunned up by Sadoy, he's going to die. But he does have those phase boots.
Uh-oh. Double edge.
So close.
Yeah, I think if he double edges there,
I think it would have been a kill.
I think one more right click and then a double edge.
Does 250 at level 3 after reduction, so I think, yeah, after that right click, I think he would have had the kill. But either way, it's a little bit difficult because it's a phase boot Furion. But sometimes we do see those long-range double edges that we love.
Yeah, well, it's like the Bat Rider vacuum lassos, where it's like they're 500 units away and they just get sucked back in.
It's like vacuum lasso and vacuum cogs.
Yeah, the cogs are even more ridiculous. Well, Goblak's now in the aggressive position. Does he have any dust yet? Find a Wildkin. No, so just going to be continue to annoy and harass this Invoker in lane. We haven't talked much about Bristleback, but he is having an okay lane, 20-5.
Yeah, he should be able to free farm up there. The Bane and Weaver can't really put too much pressure on him, especially because the supports have been sitting there with him. And they actually do force G to pop his Ghost Walk again, so all of his mana gone again, even though he's been bringing clarities for himself.
I didn't actually see the go, but it's just a Wildkin. I don't think he should have needed to. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know why he would just pop it right away. I guess he's just playing scared, just in case. I don't really blame him.
Yeah, it sucks, though, as an Invoker to use up that much mana this early, because the real annoying thing about laning against him is just being able to constantly spam Cold Snap and right-click. Even though he's Panda with evasion, it helps keep him on the back foot.
Yeah, that's for sure. And we do see the Brewmaster actually Solo went for stats instead of leveling up Drunken Brawler again. So, guess he wants to have enough mana.
We've seen 3 different builds. One is just leveling up the Brawler, one's taking a point in the haze, and one is now the stats build.
I mean, I guess it can work. We do see a glimpse going on top on Yule, but I don't think they're going to be able to get a kill on him here.
I think they... will they find it? No. The brain sap's too strong.
Yeah, that's a bit crazy. I mean, they didn't even have Jotum anywhere near that. They did have the Furion ulti, but they need more than just that to be able to set up kills. They don't really have any lockdown. All they really got is, what, the kinetic field. And, I mean, if Furion wants to port and Sprout, but he didn't even opt for Sprout yet in this game.
They're very sustained damage, and RoX are at their tower, so it's not a bursty kind of combo.
G's putting a ton of pressure on Solo right now. He just got right-clicked all the way down to 200 HP from full.
Yeah, and he does have face boots up. So Panda will need to bottle Crow, although as we mentioned that, the bottle arrives and Solo will be back in fighting condition. He's still up to 1,500 gold. We're looking at like an 8-9 minute blink dagger at worst, and as long as he doesn't die here.
I think he should still be doing better than this versus this Invoker. He should have opted to get maybe some damage just to deny out the Invoker. And now rotation going toward top, and I think one of them should definitely get caught here, but they don't want to dive behind the tower. Actually, they need to watch out.
The Centaur's ult as well. That is a very dangerous
Stampede
dive.
is a pretty bad thing to dive versus for the most part. He's actually the Centaur's gonna have a very early blink dagger. 900 gold on him. 900 gold away from it. That's gonna be what, like could even be like a 9-minute blink dagger. So they could put down a lot of aggression and take down a lot of towers with the Centaur blink dagger plus Enchantress and Panda ulti, of course.
Well, for the time being, I would say, given how the game started, Fog, that VP have actually salvaged this laning stage pretty nicely. They're at a disadvantage, sure, but they will find Solo mid lane. Oh, they wanted to bait out his ult. The Boulder Toss will fly. Panda is going to go deep on NS here, and that immolation just wrecking him. They'll throw the Invoker up on the trees with a Cyclone, and they'll be isolated, but they actually succeed and force out the Panda ult, so pretty well done.
He might actually die here for that.
Uh-oh, there's a rotation in from the Prophet, and he's
Sprout.
isolated. I don't know. Doesn't have the point Sprout yet.
I don't think they would have been able to kill him anyway, actually. It's kind of tough. They don't really have any mana on the Invoker either.
Yeah, but I think this is really good for VP.
Yeah. They've forced
Considering the
penalty.
start, they're not in a great position, but they're in a very solid one. I think the real scary timing, though, comes when the double blinks are out. The Centaur blink, not too far off. The Panda blink, fairly close, and that's when VP have to be nervous.
Yeah, they can just go on Illidan and blow him up basically instantly if they want to. They just go to that top lane and bring the action to the Weaver, just so they can secure him to get a little bit more farm. Maybe rotate him in that bottom lane so he can just get full free farm.
Bane, meanwhile, is camping out the top rune as the 8-minute rune is about to spawn, and it will spawn bottom. It's a double damage, and I guess it's going to go the way of this Brewmaster, since the Prophet has just rotated to the jungle. He's no longer in the bottom lane.
And he's got his blink coming on the courier now, and how far is Sidoi from it? He's about to have it as well. This is scary. Those are going to be very early blink daggers.
Wow, that was... Well, Arsart, he does see the Centaur farming the lane, so he knows it's fairly safe to go for the rune, and he will secure that double damage. Pretty nice for him.
Fairly safe, sure is right, because he can still... There could be an Enchantress right there with 2 creeps, so that was a bit of a ballsy part by him.
Yeah, they had no ward or vision, but so I guess it's worth the risk.
YOLO.
We will see the Vanguard build by Illidan, by the way.
That's fine. That's like one of the few heroes. I mean, yeah, it should be a Vanguard. He might...
There's a sleep here top lane, but NS still gets off the glimpse. They will isolate the Weaver, and he just melts to the Bristleback. Well, they'll get brought down. That's a lot of damage.
Uh-oh.
Now the Panda returns, though. He gets a clap and a crit on one. Now looking for Illidan. Just kidding. They'll pop the Centaur, they'll brain sap Illidan, and then he decides to run away instead. NS being pursued out, and Arsart will arrive. They've brought in quite a few reinforcements. Solo blinks in, claps on everybody, but he's this out of mana. Is there a cold snap available? Solo trapped in the Sprout for now. Goes down to a tornado. Jams it in. That's a 522 gold bounty for G. That's a max move speed kill.
Not a 322 gold bounty?
522 greater than 322.
522 greater.
VP have mastered the throw.
Yeah, and I don't know why they would...
They've overcome it.
I think they should have just let the Weaver die, because they should just know that Centaur's about to have his blink dagger as well. They brought the Panda up there. He did have blink, but he didn't even get to get the ulti off. I don't even think it was up at that point. And they just basically gave kills to VP, which VP needs at this point.
Also a little surprised they didn't bring the Centaur that fight. If they want to take the fight, he had blink.
He was about to have it. I don't think he had money for the TP and the
Okay,
blink.
he had the blink, but not the TP.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But still weird. I think they should have just left the Weaver. They ended up losing way too much out of that.
And, well, now they have Panda ult and Centaur ult cooling down soon. So I still think RoX should be looking to pick fights here, though. You're very strong with this double blink. You just have to use them together.
Yeah, for sure. They could smoke up and just go put a lot of pressure on VP. They do want to capitalize on getting early towers, because if you don't get early towers, Tree is an extreme annoyance.
Yeah, and with a Prophet on the field, you always have to worry about getting slowly chipped away at and losing in a battle of split push. They will take the tier 1 top.
Top tower has fallen.
VP pretty reluctant to defend it. Not seeing the centaur on the map right now. Not seeing solo either. They don't know if there's actually 5 top or if there's just 3. And RoX are using that to their advantage.
Yeah, and G does not look like he's actually going to be going for that Orchid.
Meanwhile, Sadoy has found NS in the river. Is there a glimpse back? He's not even going to bother. Oh, he does, but hesitated a bit too much there.
Yeah, he could have done it a bit sooner, and it would have maybe saved his life, but stampede damage and tree. Yeah, he should have probably lived if he got that glimpse up earlier.
Yeah, I don't think he expected to be caught by the centaur. Again, they don't have any ward coverage bottom, so they have no idea where he is.
Yeah.
And G's just going to start moving around. He is going, it looks like a 4-staff.
Yeah, it looks like it was going to be a force step. Or a Dagon. No, I think for sure it's going to be a force, even though Staff of Wizardry can be built into like 6 different items.
Do you like the force?
I think it's fine. You save teammates.
Yeah.
It's got great potential.
Okay. Tornado will come in. Not going to connect on Sadoy. There's a Sprout here as well, and, well, just kidding. Now they're running. Sadoy loses all his mana, but Solo still has his. He claps before blinking, I think. So they canceled the blink there. And now the grip comes out onto Jottam. They'll start taking right clicks. He's hung around too long, and, well, he'll probably go down in the end. Brain Sap securing the kill.
Go back, get out of there.
But meanwhile, mid lane, they'll get a trade. It looks like Godblack should be caught. As the Bristleback runs him down. Quill's very effective against the Enchantress.
5-stack Quill.
Will
Bye-bye.
fall.
Yeah, and this is one of the few heroes that I actually like Vanguard on. Because it just works really well with the Bristleback. And, I mean, you want to just get the tanky on the hero. That's the nature of it.
And it's just an easy build-up. You're under a lot of harass from Weaver. Yeah, I agree. I think it's good on him. So.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine.
G dropping an EMP here. That'll ward off RoX.KiS, but they do secure double damage for the Weaver. Still, the pressure comes in mid, and VP looking at a tier 1. There is a Panda ult online, Centaur ult. There's mana for it, but no, or there's no mana for it, but there is a cooldown ready. But they won't go. They won't commit to this tower, and they will back off for now.
I feel like VP, they have a decent shot at this. The only thing I'm scared for them is that RoX.KiS's teamfight lineup is a lot better unless the Disruptor gets a very nice ultimate on the Panda and the Weaver. But overall, if the game goes for a while, I think they just give it very heavily to RoX.KiS. They have the Fiend's Grip to deal with the single core Bristleback.
There's not much for this Weaver either, is the other problem. Especially if he gets a BKB, like, they have nothing on him.
Yeah, he'll be pretty immortal. I mean, the best thing you can hope for is just EMP burning him down, but either way, later on in the game, time-lapse costs 0 mana.
Now, they'll sleep mid, but I don't know if they really want to initiate on Illidan. Apparently they do. They'll deploy a Panda ult, and
he can just turn and fight the Fire Spirits, I feel like, if he has backup from his team. But
the imps are coming in, though. No, actually, Odin's going to be okay. He just retreats out.
The Pandas are getting destroyed by the Crow Spray.
Yeah, only the Earth Panda able to stand for this long. G does get caught by a Fiend's Grip, though. He's out of mana, and now they're fully committed to this. NS walks right in. He's collateral damage and just explodes. Illidan, however, still alive, and they've lost NS. They've lost G, and they'll try and fight their way out. The crit's coming through. Illidan, not sure if he wants to run or fight in the end. He settles on running, but it's just too late, I think. Even with the Bristleback, the Imp's still enough to finish him off, and they've lost 3. It's going to be 4. It's nearly a team wipe here. The lone survivor of the tree is the Disruptor just respawned now.
That was kind of weird. VP reacted extremely slowly. Illidan tanked up for, I don't know, the entire duration of that, like 30, 40 seconds, and I feel like there was no reaction from the side of VP at all. They had, like, Furion TPs, and the Invoker landed a really nice tornado, but NS poured it in and just got hoof stomped and died. He was stacked right on top of his teammate who died, so a bit of a misplay there by NS, and he's still not even level 6 on that Disruptor at 14 minutes.
I guess they didn't expect him to live that long, maybe. And yeah, when Disruptor TP'd in, he TP'd into a clap and a crit, so that was all his health instantly gone. But
that was just really weird reaction. I mean, it just looked like VP didn't know what they should do. They were like, "Oh, just let him die." But wait, no, he's got a Vanguard and Max Bristleback. I think they could have turned that fight a lot better if they reacted or sooner. I didn't even see where the Triolti was used.
He used it. Actually, I don't even remember.
Yeah, okay, so he used it at the tier 1 tower, but I didn't even really see it do too much.
Yeah, that Bristleback lived for a very long time.
Centaur now finishes up a full max, so RoX.KiS are going to be ready to stick together basically for the most part of this game and just take down the rest of the towers.
And I gotta say that this Weaver is going to be a problem. He goes back for a Midas. It's not the fastest Midas, but if they don't put pressure on him and they don't do it soon, he's going to get out of control.
Yeah, for sure. They have to blow with like the Disruptor ulti every single time for it.
And they do have the Disruptor ulti now, so I'd like to see VP try and force the issue on him. They have the Invoker sitting back, and it's actually the Disruptor a bit farther. What level is his Glimpse? Should be level 3 or 4. It's level 3 Glimpse.
Yeah. The teamfight can go decent. for VP if they land a really huge EMP, but it looks like RoX.KiS are just going to catch them completely off guard.
Doy's winding up. The smoke will be revealed. He finds some targets here. He's going to blink in. He isolates G. There's a grip to set up that stomp, and then they do drop a static storm, but it only holds Doy in position. Nice ultimate from the tree. They will look to bring down the Centaur here, and even with the mech, it looks like he will fall. Meanwhile, though, NS, pursued out by the Pandas, will drop on the backside, and now they cyclone the Bristleback. He's their primary damage dealer. Still, the Centaur standing strong. He dropped low. He was never killed off. BZZ on the run, and now Illidan gets isolated, and another Cyclone will put him out of this fight. They brought down 2. They look to retreat with the rest, and, well, the Nature's Prophet forced to TP home. So in the end, RoX get a clean 2-0 exchange, and even the Centaur makes his way out.
I'm kind of now, yeah, like it. Bristleback gets pretty heavily countered just by that tornado, but I mean, basically every hero does. But yeah, if they just do that in the team fights, yeah, Solo now gonna probably die down here bottom with a few more right clicks, and yeah, there he goes. The tornado secure kill. The Bulba tornado. Yol
jams it in, gets the last hit, and hey, 2 for 2. Yeah, not too bad.
Not too bad. And yeah,
like you said, I mean, I think the point with the Panda Tornado is it's very strong at locking down one hero, but where it really shines is when there's only one hero that's a threat.
Yeah, and, I mean, Illidan
and Bristleback's really the only threat right now.
Yeah, exactly. That was a really nice return kill, though, using the glimpse there to pick up the Bane, and then, of course, Panda Solo playing a little bit too far up and getting picked off as well. So at least they recover and get 2 kills out of it. And
Arsart is suddenly the lead farmer. So
yeah,
is this
Gold Swing.
Is this an Arsart game? Is he going to carry the team?
Hell yeah, I hope so. I mean, he's going 4 staff, so he's going for a little more mobility and just trying to survive.
I guess they have this double force, so when Panda ults, you can just try and run the hell away and bait out the ultimate.
Yeah, and in case someone gets like focused down by the Centaur, you can always four staff them out of it, so he doesn't just get blown up and just just killed instantly by all the burst that RoX.KiS's lineup has.
It's very rare where you're like, force staff's a bad item this game. Maybe against a Slark or something, but even then.
I don't really like the build that the Bristleback has too. I feel like having like 1 level in Goo is pretty damn strong, and
you definitely want 1 for the Weaver if he decides to go for a.
Did he go stat? Oh no, he didn't. He was saving his point. Okay. I mean, Goo is a really strong ability. I mean,
it's a value point as well. Level 1 Goo is quite good.
Man, look at that Bristle. He just had Tread's Vanguard, and now he's got Tread's Drum Vanguard and an Ogre Axe. So he's tanky. He's gonna be hitting pretty damn hard too.
And you try to underestimate his just right-click damage output. There is the Drunken Haze to be concerned about, but if the Panda doesn't use it on him in fights, then Illidan can. He can win man fights against almost any of these heroes.
Quills stack up, too. If you get 4 or 5 quills on people, it does a devastating amount of damage.
Well, he's not Bristle God mode right yet. He's
not yet.
He's like Bristle baby.
He's getting there. The good thing is they do have Enchantress, which does a ton of damage. He actually did so much damage in that last team fight. GoBlack is 5-1 up on that enchant.
He really secured the laning phase for them. They had the nice Roche fight, but I feel like if GoBlack hadn't also been making plays, it would actually be a dead even game right now.
Yeah, he forced a lot of rotations and just made a lot of space on the map.
If that was a Quas Exhort Invoker instead of Quas Wex, this game might have just been over by now, because without Ghostwalk, that Invoker dies once, maybe twice in the laning or early laning stage. So very smart build by G, I would say, in the end, going for Quas Wex.
Yeah, I can agree with that, but at the same time, I also feel like GoBlack should have probably had one of those sentries on him.
Yeah.
Instead of Yol. Like, you usually see the Enchantress as the second support picking up the sentry and the smoke for that reasoning.
Or the support's actually moving with the Emps, depending on your draft. But
yeah, exactly.
This game, they want to run the dual lane.
Either way, it forced a lot of reaction, and it made G use Ghostwalk twice in the laning phase, which is devastating, having to blow 400 mana like that.
But we'll see how effective these Panda ults are. Tornado EMP comes in top, and it's going to be on Solo. He gets off his ultimate. He's actually forced out. Now G just 4 staffs away, and
they've got another one on
they are in pursuit.
So if he wants to 4-staff his buddy, but I think he feels like he's going to be perfectly fine.
Oh, perfect for VP. That's another wasted Panda ult. That's 2 that have been completely wasted this game.
Yeah, and I think they should fight bottom.
Bottom lane. They're looking for the Weaver here. Do they have a glimpse available? Indeed they do. Static Storm's going to pull BZZ back in. He's dropping pretty quick, and he will fall before getting his ultimate. Nicely done by VP. They bait out a Panda ult. They get a kill, and they've got a double damage Bristle.
They're doing it.
VP mounting the comeback.
Yep. Arzart picks up his Maelstrom now, too, so he's going to be dishing out a decent amount of damage.
What a story it would be if this VP team pulled together and took this series 2-0 over RoX.KiS.
And then beat Mouse right afterwards.
Beat Mouse.
Oh, man.
If you're Mouse, I mean, you can't be too comfortable either way. G will go down top lane. They'll lose the Invoker here, but if they get this Roche, well worth it. And the Roche dropping very quickly. Goo does affect him after you break the Linked Sphere, and it's very scary to work against.
Yeah, -4 armor constantly on it.
And I like this Maelstrom again, because they have a Bristleback. You put Mjolnir on him, he's going to just wreck.
Yeah, now GoBlack might actually get killed here.
He's pretty dead. Are they going to fight this one at a time? That's where Illidan can just clean up the fight. Continuously Goblack is microing his Satyrs and gets off quite a bit of damage with the double nuke. Sidoi comes in, does connect on the stop. Arsar will die. Does he buy back and look to engage again? Illidan's still here. The Overgrowth comes through, and Illidan just tanking it all up. He's barely even been scratched, though they are focusing on the supports. Yo will fall. That's another kill going Illidan's way, and he just starts clubbing on Sidoi. He keeps on spamming the quills. They want to run away from him. I don't know if they can make it out of here. Solo joins the fight as well. He's still got his Aegis even if he dies, and G has returned. EMP, just out of range on Solo. They get that. That's probably another kill. Instead, the Glimpse will come through at the same time as the Tornado. Solo will just casually clapshot him. Thanks for the kill, he says. And Illidan's still on the chase. He's still alive. He's been alive for ages. He keeps on going in, but actually they're kiting him nicely. They're bringing down all the supporting heroes, and it looks like he may lose Aegis for naught in the end.
Yeah, he should definitely go down here.
He might go down twice.
I don't think they should go for that second. Oh, they actually used the penalty.
Okay.
He should man fight. I feel like he can actually try to.
Yeah, well.
Just kite around.
Whether you man fight or not, you're still going to be spamming quills left, right, and center, I suppose. He's got 7 stick charges. He's chasing after the Weaver. That's the hero he really wants to bring down.
Chase that Earth Panda.
Oh, he kills the Fire Panda. Is there going to be a blink out? Nice boulder toss, and now a Cyclone. Good micro from Solo, who makes his way out.
Yeah, oh man, the Weaver and the Panda got so low there. That team fight was how long did that go? God died top, then he respawned, it went all the way bottom and died again. So
that was like 2 minutes.
I think that was the weirdest spell usage too. You normally want to see like the EMP get thrown down, then the tornado, and then you cold snap afterwards. And instead he just tries to go for the cold snap into EMP, and he ends up whiffing it entirely. And I think that would have switched then it would have turned the entire team fight for them.
140. Okay, I guess if you count the initial death of the Panda top, or the used ult top, then it's a longer fight. But a key thing for me there is that they just pop the Aegis, and it looks pretty even on paper in terms of numbers with the Roche gold, but it's still a big win and swinging momentum in the favor of RoX.KiS.
Yeah, and Illidan's now going to be going for that BKB, so he's getting a little sick and tired of just getting kiting around nonstop.
Yeah, and with that, you can't Cyclone him, you can't Boulder Toss him. All you've really got is the Swarm and Fiend's Grip, which is not that scary for Bristle. He's still got his quills, even if you enfeeble him.
Dude, go Radiance, man. He was just standing there. He's not even getting any attacks off. Might as well burn them down slowly, right?
They're gonna have a Mjolnir on him soon.
Yeah, that is gonna be really nice. And
he goes for the 4-step into the river. He actually ends up on a cliff. Then they will glimpse back in one, and they get the kill on the Bane.
Oh, the kinetic field off just timed a little bit wrong.
They almost got
like
Solo.
Might go down anyway.
Does he have his ultimate? 20 seconds to go on this, and they're gonna pursue him out. 3 heroes clumped up while they lose the Disruptor, but well worth it for a Panda kill. It's just a bloodbath. 19 to 12 your score. Only 12 minutes in, and now Goblack, he wants out, and Illidan wants in. This is a great Illidan hero, by the way. I love a hero like Bristleback for him.
I completely agree with you. It's a good 5-manning hero, as well as the fact that it's the nature of its tankiness. And Goblack needs to get out of there. He's going to purge the haste off of him, and he's going to go down here for sure.
Goodbye, Goblack. He has a nice 2-hero stomp. Still, Arsar's ready, and the Cold Snap secures the kill.
He had a haste, but yeah, Tornado.
Tornado so good.
Too good. And it looks like G's going to go back for that Orchid build that you were talking about before.
I love it against Panda if he doesn't have BKB. And this Panda's gone Ags. That's the Weaver.
Wait, Weaver's going Ags? No way. I'm just kidding.
No. I was just like, I was talking about the Panda, then Mott clicked on the Weaver, so I was like.
But thankfully, he's got his Lincolns finished up already on that Weaver, so he's going to be pretty hard to bring down. But once that Invoker does have Orchid, it's really good versus Weaver and Panda.
This Weaver actually went Lincolns, not BKB. Oh.
You don't like it?
It's still not bad against Glimpse, but if they break your Lincolns, then you get Consthetic Storm, you're dead.
But yeah, I can see that. But also, I feel like he needs this. He needs just to be able to farm a little bit more heavily instead of just team fighting nonstop. I mean, they've been losing these engagements.
That's true. Ultimately, their path to clear victory is a very farmed Weaver.
Yep.
I wouldn't even mind a BKB after this.
Wow. Sidoi has a Reaver on that Centaur now too. So Blink, Mech, Reaver. He's enormous. Like, return is going to be killing people.
Not the Bristleback, though.
Definitely not the Bristleback, but maybe the Furion. You know, I hate playing versus Centaur as Furion. You kill yourself hitting him. You're like, I'm doing nothing. I gotta go for somebody else.
We'll see that same build out of Arsar this game. We'll go back for a BKB. Picks up, I imagine, he picks up the Mithril Hammer here. I don't think we'll see the patented Desolator Maelstrom build.
Maybe.
You never know.
No, I'm pretty sure it'll be the BKB. It solidifies their team fight as well. And yeah, Bristleback has his BKB finished up, so they look like they want to try to defend this tier 1.
This is some good positioning from NS in the trees. It's very easy for someone under the tower to just get caught. And Yol marches up. He actually wanted to grip that. But
That
still
would've
NS just lurking.
That'd have been scary. You gotta watch how you.
They're going to defend this tower, and out comes the Panda ult to initiate. Illidan just casually pops his BKB, and he's just going to start right-clicking Pandas. They're chasing deep. Meanwhile, Static Storm deployed by NS. They did find him here, and Sadoy will bring him down. Then the Overgrowth catches quite a few heroes. It locks everyone in position while Illidan just stands his ground. Tornado comes through once again. The Nature's Prophet arrives and does his best to right-click, though it is a bit underwhelming, to be totally honest. And Illidan doesn't lose HP, but the problem is they just ignore him and kite him. I think he BKB'd that quite prematurely.
Yeah, he did it really early. I think he just got a bit scared when the Panda went in, but you're at Bristol, man. You'll be fine. And the Ags was finished up by Brewmaster there, at least thankfully. So NS, although he got a beautiful Static Storm off before he died, the Brewmaster's ultimate was just there to use his Clap as well as all the spells. And Arzard, for some reason, bought out there.
You can't really blame Arsart. I guess like given the way most of their previous games are gone, he feels like he has a lot of lifting to do, but yeah, that was not a good buyout.
Yeah, definitely not. G basically has his Orchid now too, so he can go around the map trying to find solo kills on the Bane. Yeah, so he can definitely go around and find the Bane, but I don't think he can kill anybody else because Untouchable is pretty strong as well for Enchantress.
Yeah, I do like the quills against her though. It's like, who cares if you can't auto attack? Just spam her down. Once she has 5 stacks on her, she's dead.
This game's a lot closer than I thought it was gonna be.
He goes Vlads and bots on Panda over a BKB. Oh no, sorry, he sold the Vlads and then bought the bots instead.
I don't know why he would go BKB. That's really risky. He should have clicked on G and saw the fact that he was going for that Orchid. This could actually bite them in the ass.
He's against
hard.
Orchid and Static Storm.
This could really hurt them.
It is one of those things where if he's the one initiating, I'd say you usually get the ult off. You do have a slight cast animation on the Panda ult, but if they're not ready to Orchid you as you blink in, it's kind of hard to land.
Yeah. And Yol might actually get caught out here.
G's just rushing in for this one. Do they have a glimpse?
Yep.
Yeah, they do. Yol not going anywhere. G still slept up for the time being. I think that's this. No, he's okay for the time being. No, not anymore. Illidan joins the fight, and Panda will be deployed, but there's not a lot of follow-up for this one. NS trying to duke it out with the Fire Panda. He will go down. Illidan just fighting it out as the Panda looks to make a retreat. He's focusing on the Wind Panda. He'll be boulder tossed again. They got to prevent him from blinking. In fact, the Bristleback's running the other direction while Solo blinks out.
I don't get why he's
chasing?
I don't know why he's just popping his BKB like that either. Like, there's no risk there whatsoever for him, and he's just using the charges. It's down to 8 seconds now. They did get the kill, like one of the kills on the Bane, but questionable BKB usage.
It's a good trade for RoX. End of the day, those BKB charges go down, and unless
Sadoy!
Sadoy actually gets caught up. There's an Invoker Orchid available. He doesn't even need it. Secures the kill.
What was he doing there?
Well,
He had like 100 health.
G just YOLO'd in. He didn't know he was there, right? He just
He just ran in there, but I don't know what Sadoy was doing to be that
That's
low.
pretty risky. He's jungling, I guess.
But he's a Centaur with almost a heart. How does he get down to 100
I don't
HP?
know.
He must have gotten engaged on somewhere else, and we didn't notice it. That's really strange, but good
That's
pick up there for G.
That's
That was
a
huge.
bounty as
That's
well.
844 gold there for G.
Well, top lane, they are closing in on the Panda, it looks like. The Tornado comes in from the backside. That's going to prevent Solo from blinking his way out. Then they Orchid him, and they start to work with the Cold Snap. The Prophet will join the fray as well, and Solo going to go down again. 18-22, and you just look at these net worths, and they've slowly been closing. VP are pulling way back into this game.
They might have the lead now at this point. It's getting really close to that
almost
point.
dead even in gold.
That streak was massive there for G. He's level 16 now too. Another 1,400 gold on him. And it's Lucian item coming out on the courier. It's a mech and the BKB for the Furion. So mech for the tree and Furion's BKB.
I hear Mott chanting 322 in the background.
I didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
Something we haven't really commented. I'm gonna take a look at. Let's take a look at the wards a little bit. VP putting down.
You can look at some wards.
VP's got one aggressive ward in the enemy jungle. Not really the most, but it still ends up working out for them. And now, as I'm saying, let's look at the wards. Goback thinks the same thing. He's like, screw wards. I'm getting gem. A good pickup there for them. They should really take out the wards. They don't want to get glimpsed into bad positioning at all, and they need to just stop dying. Really, they don't want to give any space to VP because they can easily lose this.
Yeah. He probably bought the gem because you said, let's look at the
He
wards.
heard me.
Yeah.
He
Are
always
you
hears
working
me.
for Goback?
Yeah, dude. I wish I was.
This Bristles
Love my
continues to
Goback.
farm, by the way. He's got a plate mail on him.
Yeah, should be going for that AC pretty soon.
AC is a serious DPS item on Bristle. You get so much extra just right-click power from your ultimate.
And it helps your Furion as well as everybody else just do a lot
Yeah.
more damage. And then it helps them break towers. If they get a decent team fight, they can take objectives pretty easily. And of course, helps for Roshan.
Yeah, I like AC a lot, and it's got a pretty decent build up just because plate mail's a very cost-effective item in general.
You know what item I want to see on the side of VP? Atos. Give me the Atos. Break
Break
those
that
Lincolns.
Lincolns.
Hell yeah.
You got goo, man. Don't need Atos.
Eh,
Goo is
I guess
crap
so.
cast range though.
It does.
That's
It's actually it's okay. It's like what 400 to 500 cast range. Pretty decent.
yeah. The thing is, like, you break it, and then you have to be really quick on your Orchid to actually prevent him from ulting.
Heart up on Centaur now. 3k HP.
He's big, but
What does the heart really do for him? He's
Yeah.
gotta like. I think it's an okay pickup. I think I might have preferred Heaven's Halberd or even like a Shiva's. But I think it can end up working out just fine. He's got so much strength. He's got 130 strength.
that's
So
a hideous mask, by the way.
you don't like?
That Invoker.
Oh, the Invoker one? Yeah, it's pretty disgusting.
What?
Dude,
That's not.
hair of Arsenal Magus.
He's wearing like this. All right, no comment. I already made my comment. I'm done.
Yep, and now VP, they baited a port to the top lane, and they go straight into the roast pit. And Weaver now finishes up the Desolator on the side of RoX.KiS. So he didn't even go for the BKB again. He's ignoring you.
Well, I don't mind the Deso here, but I still think you go back for BKB after this. Like, I think you actually need it. Centaur will pop his ult. He blinks in. He stuns everyone, but the Invoker already picked up the Aegis. Arsar dropping pretty fast to the pit. He will force staff to the high ground, and now they'll try to fight their way out against the Pandas. The tree will fall first. He did use Overgrowth. Panda ult was deployed. If that's how it ends, it's not too bad for the VP, but Illidan now being pursued. He does not have the Aegis, and he will go down here. It looks like another double edge from the Centaur secures the kill. That's going to be 2 down. I think the Tree Protector brought back, and now Yol getting caught out. He'll lose the gem, so a pretty bloody exchange here near the pit. G trying to duke it out, but it's with a Desolator Weaver. That's not going to work. Then Arsard, it's his turn to get caught out, except this time he goes down into the pit. He will just kill off the Centaur and then tries to run, but there ain't no running for him. He'll fall. And it seems going for this Roche has just been very bad news for VP this game. That's 2 Roche fights and 2 bad fights for them.
Yeah, and you can't underestimate the team fight on the side of RoX.KiS. You're versus a Panda with Ag Scepter, and I don't know if he was level 16 before that fight, but now he's level 17. And they also have an extremely farmed Centaur. Stampede plus Panda, pretty damn strong. The Enchantress as well, throwing a lot of emphasis in the team fight, but it's just scary. Like, they don't have anything to lock down the Weaver. They need to land a perfect Disruptor ulti and for him not to just go nuts like he just did, too.
If Weaver gets BKB, Panda gets BKB, I think this game's not entirely over, but very, very hard to win at that point for VP, because that's a guaranteed Panda ult. Means Weaver is not vulnerable to the glimpse, and they don't have a Hex yet, so they don't really have proper lockdown for him. At that point, I think VP have to rely on RoX.KiS throwing, so to me, that's the key for RoX. Just get your 2 BKBs, and the game is in your hands at that point.
This is kind of what I was talking about, too, how you always see NS when he plays the Disruptor. It's pretty unfortunate for him that his teammates are just like so farm heavy, and he doesn't really get to get any of the items for him.
Yeah,
so
he's
he's not going to have
Ags.
Ags. He won't ever have an Ags in this game.
That would be big. Illidan does get swept up, maybe, but he pops BKB. They want to isolate Solo here. Can they bring him back into the Static Storm? Oh, it's too late already. It's ended, and now Illidan gets gripped. He's off on his own. The team's not there to back him up. Overgrowth will come through, but it's already too late. A Boulder Toss secures the stun, and it should be a kill for Illidan. No, Centaur ult. No, it'll be enough. They're able to run him down, and now Sidoi looking for Jadam here. The Boulder Toss comes out once again. That's 2 more down. And it looks like they're almost able to break high ground. They have isolated the Disruptor. They cyclone him up. He'll be coming down soon. Nice Deafening Blast prevents the stomp. And that might be where this fight ends, but again, a good fight for RoX.
VP just has no damage at this point, and this is why I just, lately especially, I've been seeing these Cosmos Invokers, and they just, even if they use all their spells and their spells land, it's like, ooh, great. They don't have mana, but they just use their Arcane Boots, and then it ends up being like, you're just kind of useless, I feel like, unless you snowball very heavily. He picks up a Mjolnir for the... Yeah, G realizes, like, we have no damage. He picks up a Mjolnir on him.
He's just food, though. He takes 1 stun of any kind, and the follow-up will kill him, for sure.
Nice Tornado, though.
Tornado comes in right as Solo's trying to jump in and look for an initiation here. He'll be force staffed out of the Sprout, but RoX are finding their footing at a great time. Game 2, they've been on the ropes, in danger of just getting knocked out of the International 4 qualifiers, but they found a breath of fresh air. And this game now heavily slated in their favor.
They can't kill Sidoi. There's no way. He's so damn tanky.
They're actually going to glimpse it back in, though. He just laughs as he blinks out. Quick
nice
reactions
blink.
there.
Really nice blink there by him. But either way...
I don't know if they kill him even.
I mean, Eldon was back up, so the goo chase is pretty damn strong. But, yep, that heart paying off. He's got another 2,500 gold. Taking a look at the gold graph as well. It's starting to swing back heavily into RoX.KiS' favor, which I could have said was coming because we're heading into the semi-late game, and this is where a Weaver versus no lockdown excels.
Yeah, 3,400 gold up. He's got that next item very soon, or the makings of it if he wants to go straight for a tier 4 item. And Panda, I think the BKB nearly complete. Saw him pick up an Ogre Club earlier. Indeed, it is up now, so they can't stop the Panda ult anymore. No Hex. No Hex on Invoker, no Hex on Prophet, and troubles emerge now for VP.
They barely even have the damage to bring down the Panda when he was Orchided. And now that he has a BKB, there's going to be no way that they can win these engagements. I think VP just needs to try to... Their best bet right now is trying to split up and hope for RoX.KiS to just make massive errors.
Yeah, I feel like this is where Bristol's got to get AC and Abyssal and one more item. Like...
And then even then, what's he really going to do? He's going to get kited all the time. And then
Yeah.
he needs an MKB late after once his BKB starts going up because he's just going to keep getting drunk and hazed.
In the jungle, it will be the Disruptor who's called out to start this fight off. He drops a Static Storm, but Solo casually claps him down. Then we'll pop the ult. He sees 2 targets here. He'll focus on Jadam first and foremost. That's a 2-for-0 exchange.
Oh, man.
Once again, and the Panda's hunting for more.
Illidan's got no TP. No TP.
Uh-oh. He ain't going anywhere. Not to this win, Panda. And that's an Ag's ult. Plenty of time to swing those hands around in the air, isolate the Panda, then they drop him down, though they do it pretty early, and, well, there's your grip. Now they'll hold him in position, they'll just keep on right-clicking. Panda comes back, and he actually doesn't feel that tanky. The stomp comes through, the double edge, not even needed. Yol gets the kill, and a 3-for-0. RoX, this game's pretty close to being unlocked, unless they try to base race.
Can Arzart do it?
Where's that double rampage when they need it? It's just, he doesn't really have to farm, honestly.
Especially versus the lineup of RoX. I think that their draft just ends up working out so much better for them if they do decent in the early game, and Go Black just really secured that early game for them so heavily, especially after that level 1 engagement, which went pretty heavily in their favor.
I still feel like if they wanted to do something like that, they should have just faked the Rosh and tried to bait RoX rather than actually trying to Rosh.
Yeah, I don't even know what the hell that was.
I mean, RoX aren't that dumb. They're at least going to check.
Yeah, BKB finished up on the Weaver now too, so he's unkillable. I don't see any way that they kill him unless he's diving into the fountain.
Well, at this point, VP, like you said, I think just, you have to angle for ultra late game and just take split push fights. Like I don't.
They
think
never lost the Aegis at least, no, but now it's getting reclaimed.
that's almost worse.
Yeah.
That was the other thing is I think that fight would have been much better for them in the pit if the Bristle gets the Aegis, but unfortunately it was a panicked moment and G just snapped it up right away. Bristle didn't actually have space for it when the Roche fell.
Now, Panda also buys a Vlad's as well, so he's got Blink, BKB, Vlad's bots, and his Ag Scepter, so that's a pretty
and
dead
Shivan has an Ag, so I don't know if you mentioned that earlier, but...
I think he just picked it up 2 seconds ago, but yeah, that people really overlook how much damage an Enchantress can do in team fights once he gets that Ag Scepter. It's pretty ridiculous. You just kill any support in the 3 hits.
This is also where Bristle falls off as the game goes later, because the Quills just aren't that scary when everyone's sitting at like 1,600, 1,800, 3,000 HP, or 3,200 in the case of Sidoi. Quills are really good in the mid game, but this is where they tend to fall off a lot.
He's got a Shivas now too, huh? It's on the courier.
Now the Centaur can just solo the entire enemy team practically.
Yeah, he's incredibly massive. They can't bring him down. They need to bring him down at, like I said, at tier 4 is like the only way that I think VP can come back from this is heavy throws by RoX.KiS.
Well, let's see if they can do it. RoX.KiS.
Raphael paused the game.
What?
Alright, whatever. Didn't happen.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, the game proceeds. RoX trying to siege the base right now.
At least it wasn't during a team fight.
Yeah, I imagine Starladder will have a word with him after the game, though. If not only that. And they will go in now on solo. Actually, BKB's immediately. Is he going to pop that ult? He claps once. And then he drunken hazes Illidan. Doesn't want to commit to using an ult just yet, but Illidan's running from a Panda with a BKB. This is not even their carry by any
RoX.KiS
means.
is doing the smart thing, though. They don't even worry about hitting anybody. They're just zoning with Panda and hitting buildings. And this is what they should have done yesterday in mouse games. just throwing that in there. But it looks like
they might have watched those games and said, yeah.
Yep. It looks like they know what their priorities are in these games, and this Panda's just in there alone. And he might go down. He's going to get the blink. Gets Orchided.
Those good sounds. The cold snap damage is there, and the Prophet will TP, and it looks like with the Sprout, Solo should be isolated here. He'll clap again. He drunken hazes again, and it does have that small AoE to it now. Still, overgrowth there. That's the Panda, 5v1. Imagine if that's the Centaur.
Yeah, he could have probably maybe killed someone when they were hitting him. No.
Yeah.
But either way, I think anybody who gets caught in 5v1 like that's going to die. But Centaur would have probably died a bit slower, and either way, 2 melee Raxes get taken out, and that's a pretty big deal at this point, especially when you're playing versus a Weaver who's got a Desolator, and he's going to have another item up at any moment.
I think it's just VP that Roche fight. The second Roche fight is really what screwed them.
Yep.
Before that, if they had just
Oh, Go Black might get caught up.
they
No.
find someone in the jungle here.
Nope. Heal off.
He just doesn't hit that hard.
No, he doesn't. I mean, even with the Maelstrom, and if he alacrities himself, he can attack pretty fast down to Go Black, but with the heal...
The problem with that is it's wasting one of your invokes just to give yourself more right click, which means that you don't have an extra spell to bring somebody down.
He is level 19, so it is low level
That's
invoke,
true.
but you already used the Ghost Walk to initially get in position, so you only have that one spell afterwards, and you don't even have Cold Snap at that point if you use it like that.
Yeah, I feel like where the Cost Flex Invoker excels is when your other heroes do insane, like a lot of damage. Like if you have a Tiny or something, Tiny Wisp.
Or if you have a really strong core lineup, like if you have a lot of damage and not really
Doom
bristle.
or so you eats an Alpha Wolf, like something like that.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not really I feel like the Quaswex Invoker has fallen off a bit unless you snowball extremely heavily in the early game. He's sitting on 3,300 gold on the Invoker. He's probably going to go for that Sheep Stick, but it's not going to be able to do too much. And Bristle did finish up his AC, though.
To be fair, if it was Quas Exhort, G probably would have fed
Yeah.
3-4 extra times mid to the Enchantress gang.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think it really fit their lineup all that great, especially versus the side of RoX.KiS.
Well, for now, RoX just waiting for that next Roche. It looks like with the second Aegis. Sorry, I guess it's the third, because there was the... No, it's the second, right? Second Aegis. Third Roche attempt. They will look to secure the second lane of Rex and take this game.
Yeah. They don't seem like to be in any rush at all, though.
They shouldn't be. Solo will blink in, he just...
Casual clap into Drunken Haze.
Well, this god is bleeding right now. The Bristle god feeling very mortal.
Yeah, he should. I mean, if he gets Fiends gripped up, they don't really have too much lockdown on the side of VP to stop it, and they can just walk in front of him and beat him down, because the power of Bristle obviously is that Bristleback.
Well, VP making their move into the enemy jungle. They do have an Observer Ward here, but I believe this is a smoke coming from RoX. Indeed it is. No, it's just the Weaver Sakuchiing in, not a smoke. And they'll just jump on Illidan anyway. He still gets caught. Now, Panda right-clicking away at him. They will throw out the Living Armor. They'll sleep up the tree. And now BKB forced down. Illidan trying to make his retreat. Panda ult deployed right as the Static Storm came out, but it doesn't matter anyway. The Panda's still in BKB form, and well, it looks like they'll find one kill. They look for some more here. Jotum on the retreat, and another boulder toss from downtown. Finds Jotum, then they'll follow it up with a double edge, and he just explodes. Brain Sap, double edge, all the nukes in the world, and they Cyclone a third, so they're looking to make it a 3-0. And I think they'll get it here, too. Clap, no, G, 4 steps out, still slowed down and just isolated, completely pounded. And with that, RoX.KiS, either Roche or their second lane of Rex in the offing.
No point for VP to call it GG in a game like this just yet, though. They can keep just split pushing with Arzard and hope that RoX.KiS makes some huge errors, but Arzard's got a decent amount of farm in him, but he can't stand toe-to-toe with them at all. And now we do see a pause by Illidan.
Okay, at least by a player this time.
Well, yeah, this is looking grim, very grim. It's been looking quite grim for VP for a while. Merlini pause. He's not even here, man.
They call it a Merlini pause, huh? Not a puppy pause?
Wow.
That's some regional bias from both sides.
He's gonna see it, and he's gonna get so excited now too. He's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm such a big deal."
Well, I mean, he already was bragging about what
He
a big
was
deal he was
earlier.
earlier. Mandy Baby tried to add him as a friend. Just tweets about it. Like,
What
yeah,
a guy.
You're a cool guy, Merlini. Very important.
He is pretty cool, man. Leave him alone. Take a look at the career. Dataless recipe.
That was quite a turn of events from you.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I don't want them to say it. I can say it.
Okay.
Dataless coming out for the Weaver out on the career. G buys back and just looks like RoX.KiS is just gonna back up perfectly fine here. You don't want to chase it though. He actually picks up another Reaver on the
Meanwhile,
Centaur.
the action does break out bottom lane, and the Centaur comes in. Is it really worth pointing? I mean, he's actually starting to take some decent damage here. Prophet just casually runs through, nearly killed off by the Weaver. Sidoi will get caught by a tornado. I guess they can kill him. A few more right clicks. He's gonna fall. They TP'd out the Panda, and they stuck around, and that was when VP struck. They have Glimpse available fairly soon. Weaver does secure a Desolator, and they'll glimpse back in Godblack, who looks to be down at this point. Illidan chasing him, and meanwhile, elsewhere in the bottom lane, there's a fight breaking out near the secret shop. Yol will TP his way to safety, though, and buyback comes out from the Enchantress. They just want to try and brute force it.
And looks like Weaver might get the tree. No, he doesn't. But they do end up getting that mid-range Rex at the same time while that entire engagement is going out. But Sidoi, he bought another Reaver right before that engagement happened, so pretty funny.
They do find BZZ, and they catch him with the ground sprout, but he's going to time-lapse his way out of this one. Gets caught in an overgrowth. BZZ goes down. He's 10 gold short of buyback, so he can buy back and come to this fight soon, though he won't have the time lapse to get in quickly. And the Panda ult's now going in, but it's all in its awesome. They might actually start giving away big chunks of advantage with this engagement, Panda. He's almost dead.
Punch him.
He's got one more punch. Down he goes. That's the death of the Panda. And now there's a buyback from the Weaver, but he can't time-lapse his way back in because he used it earlier, so he's got to run his way back in.
Is that enough?
They still down a lane of Rax. But one more bad fight like that by RoX, and maybe it is enough.
I think maybe like 3 more bad fights by RoX.
Well, they don't have Weaver buyback, and they don't have Enchantress buyback. So I think it depends on the lane situation.
Fair enough. I can agree with that.
Basher's up on the... Oh, I actually think that's a pretty big item on Bristle.
Yeah, and Brewmaster buys that as well, so they look like they want to... They don't want them to get that Roshan at all.
This is 3 buybacks now on cooldown for 4.5 minutes for RoX, and only 1 available for VP. So 1 buyback available for each team. It's coming down to the point where 1 bad engage from either team could cost them the entire game.
Yeah, and Arzart's getting enormous. He's got Mjolnir and MKB and BKB and 4-step. I feel like he should probably get rid of that Midas pretty soon. He's doing a good job of split pushing, keeping that top lane completely out, but they did end up losing that die range barracks like I commented on before.
Yeah, they also lost the 2 Raxes mid as well, the melee and the range, so.
Yep. Smoke coming out of RoX.KiS, and they could just walk into the pit, I feel like, and do it.
They're going to try for it. Prophet will push through the top lane, and RoX will just make their move up the ramp. They actually want to head towards mid. Still pushing forward is Arsart. He's up to another 2,700 gold, so he does have buyback if necessary, though I imagine he doesn't want to be blowing it just to split push. He wants to use that in a team fight. RoX, smoke got revealed, looks like Sidoi. Now unable to find an opening, and the Prophet will keep on pushing through. They have spotted out a few mid, and he's actually going to threaten high ground here. They'll be forced back.
G's rotating as well. Yeah, good. Just keep split pushing, man.
And Solo wants to go into the Roche pit, but with 2 heroes, they're just waiting for that single TP back. If 1 hero comes in, now G's just going to alacrity himself. They're just going to work on the tower. And now the fight breaks out mid. Goblak does get dusted. Meanwhile, they are threatening this bottom lane of Rax. Jadam's just stalling. He overgoes quite a few, and the push continues. Centaur has TP'd out. He's returned to the base to try and fight, but he's just been completely dealt with it. Well, he got glimpsed back, though Disruptor actually arrived. Disruptor showed up at the top lane. It's 3 heroes top. The Centaur's out of the fight, and they're trying to win this with some good old-fashioned rat Dota. Arsart popping his BKB. He just starts right-clicking Pandas. They're actually dropping quickly. Uh-oh. They could lose the win. Panda, he's going to retreat his way out, and now they're in trouble. G just gets melted by this Weaver. NS will be next. It was Q tactics from VP, but they lose 4 in the end. They don't get the Roche. And RoX played it right. They sent numbers back to the base. No reason to risk giving up a Rax for that, and in the end, all VP gets is a tier 3 tower top.
That was so funny. Jadam runs in as the Treant, uses Trio, and Ilden pops BKB and literally just books it out of there. He doesn't even right-click anybody once. He just got the hell out of there. I feel like he could have maybe tried to do a couple of right-clicks and try to bash somebody and stop a TP, but I don't know if he wants to give up his life for that, but it might have been worth it if they could have gone the Rax.
I didn't even realize. I thought Disruptor was mid. He, like, suddenly just showed up.
He just appeared up there.
Yeah. I didn't catch a glimpse of him. They'll go for the rush now. Fuck. Don't be jealous, man. It's okay.
I wish I could have thought of it too, man. I'm missing all the opportunities.
Oh no, they found the Prophet who just bought back. That's gonna be a dieback for Arsart. Gets
GG.
caught out, and it's GG.
That's the game.
Whether they call it or not, they're not winning from here. They can't rat. They can't defend their base without their Prophet. He's a vast majority of their net worth.
Yep.
And there's the GG. Good effort by VP considering the start, but I think you just go back to play this game again. They did not have to try and force level 1 Roshan. It wasn't a really good play.
Yeah, I think they could have maybe won this game, but overall, I favored RoX.KiS pretty heavily in this lineup.
Imagine if they didn't lose that team fight, though, because they almost came back.
They did. That's for sure.
This game was close at one point, but
it looked like RoX.KiS was playing a little overconfident at one point, and also just Centaur buying a second Reaver, bit questionable.
That's a YOLO moment. But guys, that's gonna wrap up game number 2. We head to a game 3 now with the series knotted up. Well, 1-1. Fogged winner goes to Seattle. Either as the wildcard team or potentially as the final qualified team. Who do you think it's gonna be? Still favor RoX?
Yeah, for sure.
Will
VP go for another Roche?
I don't think third time's the charm here. First time was the charm. They should have stopped there. But guys, game 3 is coming up soon. You're watching the International 4 Europe Qualifiers presented by Monster. We'll be right back with game 3. Stay tuned.